Masters lifter training essentials. So progressive overload is the key. You just got to, it's you versus you. You've got to progress from whatever you're doing last week. And unfortunately, I'm not going to give you anything magic in this little bit. Just reassurance that you can train like anybody else. Like my philosophy on training, on the lens that I look on people's training is that how can I get person X? Like how can they be person X plus 1% next week? Like literally, that is my philosophy on everybody that I coach and everybody that I teach, regardless of whether they're, I don't know, regardless of whether it's Elsie, my 3-year-old daughter. Obviously, I don't train or whatever, but like in terms of her development, just get her a little bit better. Like whether it be like I've trained like 70-year-olds do like powerlifting competitions, like whether it's people who are injured, whether it's people who like say for instance they've broken their arm or whatever, and they say they can't train. Like the principle is the same. You come in and we can get a little bit better every week. So a lot of you may think that you're a disadvantage to the younger people, but yeah, you might feel the younger people might be a little bit more energetic and maybe able to do more work and stuff like that. But also as well, if they're going into stuff faster, like they're gonna get themselves faster into problems too. Whereas you having that experience of what your body's like, and you knowing that, well, I can't do as much push press volume than so and so because of my neck and elbows, my shoulders, or whatever. Like, or different exercises, you have to manage your set. Like you can inevitably think of examples that ways you have to manage that you've got through experience and doing it like being in touch with your body for so long. So that you can look at that in a positive light and just look at that as an advantage. But also as well, like I think of examples of like some of the masters people that I coach are just like, in terms of the work capacity and what they're doing, they're doing a lot more work than a lot of the guys like 25 to 35-year-olds. Sorry, 20 to 35-year-olds. They're doing a lot more work than these guys. Like, so don't feel like you're destined to be in a certain position. Like if you decide that, you know what, I'm just going to focus on keep getting better no matter what, like a little bit better than last week. And then if it does get to a point where you're like, right, well, I'm trying to be positive, I'm trying to get a little bit better than last week, but it's getting tough. Like it's probably down to something else that can be changed than you being a masters lifting or being 40 plus, 50 plus, or whatever. And if you're stuck, get a coach to look at it, like or get your coach to try a different training phase or try a slightly different approach, or a lot of stuff like this. I see a lot of people at all different levels, not masters, but they struggle to have like difficult conversations, like with their coach. Like don't be afraid to communicate and say, you know what, you give me this variation of like I've pushed through it for 2 weeks, but I've got it written down for the 3rd week in a row, and I know it's going to wreck me. Just communicate, and you'll find that they'll probably be able to give you something else. And if you're stuck, if there's certain something, like message me, message us. I'll help out and give you some suggestions. So, and exactly, I've put this photo on this presentation, and this is actually for my first under 90s comp. This is a great example of where this photo encapsulates the thing about the mindset about changing your lens and being positive. Right, this was my first under 90s comp. Yeah, really powerful photo actually. First under 90s comp, I came last. My dad told me to give up afterwards. He said, "You're out of your depth. You should do something else. You're never going to be any good at this sport or whatever." Molly competed in the under 64 class, I think, 2019, 3 years ago. So she's a couple of months old. Molly's just Molly had a C-section. So I didn't really know what that was until it happened. But basically, she's having her ab muscles cut. So in terms of from an athlete's perspective, like she came back to training, she was like, well, I can move, but I can't brace, I can't wear my belt, I can't deadlift. She can, but like her numbers are significantly down on those. Blah 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 blah. They were saying that a recovery is going to be months and months and months. She got straight back to it. Blah blah blah. And I know she's not a masters lifter, but my mum is. My mum, the lady on the left, she competed the same day as us. She's like, I'm not sure, mid-50s. And she was absolutely brilliant. She was like She did awesome on the sandbag medley. Europe's strongest woman, this is. She did a 180 kilo yoke for 20 meters. And she's deadlifted 150 last year. Like, she's an absolute savage. And in terms of like her work capacity and stuff that she can do, is just absolutely brilliant. Like, when we're doing a phase where I'm programming for her, like, I'm not making any considerations that, oh, she'll need to do, like, she does have things that we have to manage. Like, say for example, she's always managed like knee pain and stuff like that. Always manage knee pain, so that's something that we manage in terms of the, like I'm saying at the bottom note here, try and plan your recovery proactive way, so we don't give her too much knee flexion stuff, and we give her a lot more deadlift volume and hip extension volume than say squats, for instance, and it just really works. She's got really strong, feels really healthy, feels really well, able to do competitions if she wants to. Another thing that we have to manage is her shoulders. She just gets a bit of general shoulder pain, so we do variations that say eliminate the eccentric on say overhead lifts. Doing like clean and jerks where she drops from overhead. She does quite a lot of work from the jerk box where she'll press and then drop every rep. That just works better for her, works really well for her. But I wouldn't say that that's a symptom of her being a masters lifter. I'd say that she's just training smart. Like, we're working around things. But my point is, like, her work capacity and what she can handle in terms of work is just absolutely brilliant.